Welcome to day four. Day four, today is a little bit of a strategy. We're going pivoting from mindset to strategy, like I already told you guys before. Okay, if you guys can unmute yourself, but please let me know what do you think you need to start off a business? Give it to me in the chat box. If you guys don't want to unmute yourself, you can always give it to me in the chat box. Give your answers in the chat box. What do you think you need? What are the components that you need for starting for having a successful business? Plan, mindset in place for sure. Okay, confidence. Okay. So you might have all the confidence in the world, you might have all the plans in the world and a mindset, but the four components that you need for a business is first you need a right product, right? You need a product that will sell in the market. If it's not a sellable product, who's going to buy it? Correct? We need a sellable product, we need a right product. And then secondly, we need people who will buy it. So you need the right people. Correct? Like for example, if let's imagine if I am the manufacturer of, let's say, Mercedes Benz. If I bring Mercedes Benz in front of people who want a nano car, am I bringing the right product to the right people? Or am I bringing the wrong product to the wrong people? Correct. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you need to bring the right product. You must have a right product, and you need to bring the right product in front of the right people. If you don't bring that in front of the right people, you won't have a business. You won't have. How do you gauge if your business is doing well or not? When people buy your product. If people are not going to buy your product, no matter how great it is and how awesome it is, even if scientists come down and say, oh, this is an awesome product, but if people are not buying it, you don't have a successful business. Is that making sense? Give me a thumbs up in the chat box if that's making sense. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What's the third one that you need? You need the right equipment. Yeah. So you might know many things to do, and you might have, like for example, if you are making a cake, you need the correct cake tin, you need the correct oven, you need if you're decorating, if you're going to be using decoration for your cake, you need a cake turntable, spatulas, things like that. The basic ones, but you need the right equipment. You don't need fancy equipment, but at the same time you're not going to do jugaad also, because as Indians we are very clear, we are very what do you say, awesome with doing jugaad. No, we try and like minimize the cost over there, because we don't want to buy the equipment. We end up buying other equipment because we see it on Instagram and we're like, oh, that's so cute, I need it, and we buy those. So I'm saying we need the right equipment, not fancy equipment, but at the same time not substandard equipment. We need equipment that is needed for to create the product. Make sense? Again, thumbs up please if it's making sense, or if you have a question about it, you can unmute yourself and ask me the question. Okay. Awesome. Great. Number four, you need the right processes. If you don't have the right processes, step one, I'm going to be doing this. Step two, I'm going to be doing this. Step three, I'm going to be doing this. If you don't have a system in place, you are bound to fail. Is that making sense? If you do not have a system, because you can't, even for a great household to function well, if you don't have a system in place. Just imagine if you have a helper lady who comes any time of the day, is it going to be a successful household? One day she comes at 6 o'clock in the morning, one day she comes at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, one day she comes at 4 o'clock in the morning. Is it going to work out for you to run your household properly? No, it's definitely not going to work. Similarly, if you do not have systems in your business, your business is not going to be a very successful business. So these four components are absolutely needed. Okay, so today we are going to fixate on the right product. Okay, so I'm also gonna tell you guys why we are fixating on the right product. For example, let's say there's something called true cost, right? So remember we talked about the pricing chart, and making sure that each ingredient is put over there, and we're putting the price of that. We calculated how much we're using for the recipe. Yes, remember that. Now now think about it. If you do not have a right product, let's say you're making a chocolate cake. This is your entire business is based off of chocolate cake. Okay, and let's say it is a layered chocolate cake, right? So for layered chocolate cake, let's say you're making ganache, right? The icing, right? And you have to buy the least quantity that you can buy is what, 500 grams of a chocolate bar, and also a 1 liter of cream. Are you going to use all of the 500 grams of chocolate? Tell me, yes or no? No, we're not going to be using all of the 500 grams. Are we going to use all of the cream? No, we are definitely not going to use all of the cream, but we are still ending up buying the entire cream. We're still ending up buying the entire chocolate. Yes. Who's paying the price? As the baker, as the business owner, I have to pay the price. But am I charging the customer that? No, I'm not charging the customer that, because that is not right. Because the customer is not taking 500 grams of chocolate. Am I making sense to you? Yeah, okay. So up until now, you're absolutely clear. Great. But once you I'm taking the example of the cream, so it'll help you understand. Imagine once you open the cream packet, what is the instruction over there? It says store it in the refrigerator and consume it 7 days from opening the packet. Right. Let's say in a liter cream, the dabba that you buy, you use 200 grams. 200 grams to make a chocolate cake. Right? Yes? Everybody okay until then? Great. 200 grams. How much is left? 800 grams is left. And how many days do you have to finish that? You have 6 days. So yeah, so day one, I'm cutting out day one. So 6 days. And for you to make sure that the entire cream is used, how many cakes do you have to make? If for one cake you're using 200 grams of cream, in 7 days, how many cakes should you make so that you don't waste even a drop of cream? 4 more cakes, correct? So if you make 4 more cakes, then you are profitable. If you don't make 4 more cakes, then you're not profitable. Now, did you understand why I'm talking about the right product? The right product, the right product could be or like you might be baking an amazing chocolate cake. But if you're not able to sell 5 cakes in 7 days, who's losing out? You are losing out. Why? Because you have to buy cream. Yeah, that is the least amount of cream that you can buy, or you can buy 200 packets of cream. 200 grams of, sorry, not 200 packets of cream, 200 ml of cream, the small ones. Yes, if you're just buying a small packet, and if you're buying an entire liter, when you do the math, which works out more cheap, the 1 liter or the 200 grams, 200 ml? The 1 liter, right? And common sense dictates that we need to buy things in bulk. But if you're not able to use the entire cream in 7 days, who is common sense really helping us? Tell me, tell me. No. So this is why it is very, very, very important to have your systems in place and always track what is going, what is not going. So you need to. It's very easy to sell one cake, right? And say, oh, my let's say my one for 1 kg you're selling it at 1300 rupees or 1400 rupees, and you're getting a great profit because you are looking at ingredients and the cost of ingredients, and definitely you kept the cost low, and you made sure that you had added at least 50% of profit, and you got back that money. Awesome. But what is going to happen to things that are left over? You are still have to pay for those. Yeah, this is a very hidden cost that not a lot of people are not a lot of people can see. Now, do you understand why I'm saying right product? So pick products that when you're starting out, pick products that do not use ingredients that will not stay for a longer period of time. Make sense? Yeah. And even if you're picking products that use ingredients that have a lesser shelf life, like for example fruits, yeah, make sure you're not buying bulk. Make sure you're buying it in smaller quantities only, because in the long until you're able to build your customer base, and you know exactly that, oh, in a week's time I have these many customers, and in a week's time I'm definitely going to be able to use up all the perishable goods. Rachel, can you please mute yourself? Please mute yourself, Rachel. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Is it making sense? Karuna, Lata, Elizabeth? Yeah. So now that you know from your side what is the right product that you can put out. Yeah, you can figure out, okay, maybe I don't want to do layered cakes. If I'm doing layered cakes also, I am buying smaller quantities until I build my customer base, until I'm able to confidently sell off five cakes, so that I can justify buying bulk. Okay? So that is number one. Number two, from the customer's point of view, what is the right product? From the customer's point of view, what is the right product? You guys tell me. Like when you guys go to go shopping, why do you buy things? Because just as much as we have customers, what they like or desire. Okay, is that what drives you to shop, Karuna? Mostly? Okay, cool. Elizabeth, why do you shop? Need. Because it's a good product? Okay. Nobody buys anything just because it's a good product, yeah? Think about it. Think about your own buying behavior. Do you buy something just because it's a good product? No, I don't buy something just because it's a good product. Usually, I buy something because I need it or because I desire it. Yeah, necessity, right? Necessity or want. Correct. So when you look at when you're looking at the cake, when you're looking at baking business, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry about that. Okay. When you're looking at baking business, does it come under needs or does it come under wants? Elizabeth is saying need. Okay, both. Awesome, Karuna. Why do you think it is both? Elizabeth saying need. Okay. Karuna, please let me know why you said both. Mandatory occasions which are unavoidable, like birthdays, anniversaries, any kind of those kind of celebrations, right? Yeah. And want would be when you're craving for something nice. When you're craving a sweet which is not necessary, which is not a necessity. You hit the you hit the nail on its head. Awesome. So now that you figured out that you can cater to a need and you can cater to a want, you need to figure out in the needs section what is a problem that you can solve, and in the want section what is something that is so beautiful, so like they can't say no to. Understood now? So when you're doing it, when you're putting a right product in front of the people, figure out what is the problem that you're solving from a needs perspective, and if your product is fulfilling a want, what is the want that it is fulfilling? What is the need that it is fulfilling? What is the want that it is fulfilling? I'll give you an example. So probably that will help you understand. For example, um, uh, uh, when I make a cake, I tell people, hello, especially when people say, why is it so expensive? I say, listen, we do not use any non-dairy whipped cream. Do you have children? And most of them say, yes, it's for my children's birthday party. And I said, how many of you have children who come back to your house after attending a birthday party and projectile vomit, and you have to rush them to the hospital? And most parents say yes. And it is that and they pinpoint it also and say, it is that cream, madam, that cream only is the bane of our existence. And most people say, I don't want cream, I don't want cream, can you put very little cream? Yes. And I tell them, I will guarantee you, I will give you my the if your child eats the birthday cake that I make, they will not vomit. What am I doing? I am solving a problem that they have. So they are going to do the math in their head, right? How you also do math in your head, right? When you're buying something, when you're buying like a costly product, if it is a little over your budget, you justify it in your brain. You justify it in your brain saying, you know what, if they eat this cake somewhere else, if I buy this cake for 500 rupees, the kid is going to eat it, the kid is going to vomit, and I'm going to take my kid to the hospital or the doctor, and the doctor's bill is going to be so much more. Understood? If you are solving somebody's problem, they will justify it in their head, saying, I will somehow, even if it is not in my budget, I'm going to make room for this in my budget. Is it making sense? Absolutely. So they will make, see, because that is how you see, all of us buy like that, no? Don't you buy like that? When you like something and the person is telling you all your problems. For example, he's saying, this is the problem that you have, this is how the product is going to fix your problem. In your head you're like, oh my god, it is so costly, but I need it. And you start justifying, and in your head you start making sense of, oh, but I don't need that, sari, I don't need to buy that sari, that money I will bring it here. Yes or no? Absolutely right. That is buying behavior. And that's exactly what your customers are going to do. If you are going to solve a problem, if you're not going to solve a problem, if you're just saying, buy it because it's a good product, buy it because it's a good product, who will buy? Elizabeth, tell me. Nobody will buy a good product, right? And from the wants department, who will buy a cake? People who want to show off. Am I correct in assuming that? Like when I want to show off, I will buy from a bigger bakery. Yes? When I'm inviting, let's say, people who have a little more money, who are like judging you. So when you invite people like that, you almost always buy from a bigger bakery, right? Why? Because the cake looks awesome, first of all, and in the whole process of it looking awesome, whether the quality is great or not, we don't know. But because it looks so good, the packaging is so well done, people are going to be like, oh, it's not come from a home baker, it has come from a reputed bakery, like say a Consu or a Labanel or what is the other one? Um, I don't know now. No other things are coming to my head, but Consu and Labanel are coming to my head. Does that make sense? So Van Lavino, I haven't even heard of that. Okay, does that make sense? Like when you're need wise, when you're fixing a problem, people are going to throw money at you. And from the want wise, if you are elevating their status, they will throw money at you. So these two buying behavior, if you can somehow fix it in your head and figure out from my side what is the right product so that I will not waste money in the cost. From the customer's perspective, what is the right product? Okay? Is it making sense? Please give me a thumbs up if it is making sense to you guys. Absolutely. So I'm going to stop the recording and we're going to do some work.